Hi everybody, this is Katrina Raspel, the Gringa Bruja, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite tools to use for really super effective magic, and that is the reversing candle. I had a situation come up with a client where we needed to burn a reversing candle for her, and I thought this would be the perfect time to show you how we go about doing this. Reversing candles are a very intense and effective magic, but you also got to use a lot of discretion and be very careful when you use them because you don't want to reverse a situation that's actually getting better and send it in the wrong direction. And that's what a reversing candle is going to do. It's going to take a set of circumstances that seem to be in a downward spiral and are creating uh, a huge impact on the quality of life on the client or on yourself, and it's going to reverse the energy and send it in the other direction. So the metaphor I have for this is, let's say that you have a train that's barreling off in the wrong direction. What we want to do is slow the train down, turn it around, and get it moving in the same or better speed in the direction it's supposed to go in. And sometimes this is what happens in life. Sometimes we get into situations where we made a wrong turn at some point, we stepped off the track we're supposed to be in, and our life is just spiraling out of control in the wrong direction. Now, we can wax all metaphysical and say that we're supposed to learn these lessons and this sort of thing, but usually what we want is to learn those lessons while they're in the rearview mirror so that we're looking back on the situation after we've corrected it, after we've done some course correction, and then start talking about what we should have done differently, what we should have learned. And I can also, I'm the queen of metaphors today, apparently, we can also equate it to this. If you're in a burning house, you're not going to sit there and talk about how the fire started while the flames are all around you. You're going to get out of the house first. Then you can do your analysis. Then you can do your autopsy on what should have gone differently. This situation, the reversal candle, should only be used when you need to get out of the burning house and to create a different sort of life and quality of life for yourself. So let's say that we have a series of unfortunate financial events that have gone on where you lost your job and then uh, someone who was supposed to pay you money didn't, and then suddenly a bill came due that was twice as much as it should be, where we've got a number of difficult things coming up at once that indicate a pattern. Let's say that you have a health crisis and then another and another and another, and we want to reverse that situation. So that's what that part of a reversal candle is about. Another thing we would want to use a reversal candle for is if someone has sent us some ugly energy, and there are people out there who do this. There is a whole segment of the magical community who wants to believe that people just don't do that because of the karmic repercussions. And actually, there's only a small part of the magical community that believes in karmic repercussions. A lot of people out there do not. And so sometimes if they're pissed off, they will send something to a person that they're angry with. Another thing in regard to this that can happen is inadvertent crossing. And that's when you send some negative energy to somebody or send what I would call a curse or a hex or a crossing to somebody without intending to. Now, if you intend to, of course, that's huge, massive work and very effective. But if you don't intend to, it can be just as devastating, where you're just manifesting these negative thoughts about someone and they're going in their direction. So regardless, if you're starting to feel like perhaps someone has sent you something some energy that you don't want, you can use a reversing candle to send that energy back to the person who sent it. Now, I never recommend in that situation specifying a name because quite honestly, when it comes to it, you don't know. But what I do is instead send it back to the person who sent the energy. So those are the two primary reasons why a reversing candle would be used. Now, I'm going to show you what the reversing candles look like, how they're set up, and then I'm going to show you how to use one. This is a classic reversing candle. You can get this in any Botanica or magic store that specializes in Mexican candles. This is going to burn, depending on the energy that you're working and how the candle's managing the spell work, this is probably going to burn for anywhere from 4 to 7 days. It's a very thick candle, a little bit wider than the ones you would get in the grocery store. It's got a lot more wax in it. One thing very specific about reversing candles is they have two different colors. One color on the bottom, usually black on the top or on the outside. The black is what slows down that train I was telling you about or stops it. The red, in this case, it's red, kicks it into action and moves it quickly in the other direction. You might see green down here if you're doing a money reversal, orange if you're doing a health reversal, different colors for different purposes, but the classic is red and black. So this is the glass encased candle that you burn down exactly like you would burn a novena candle or a prayer candle. This is my version of it. And in this case, I put the black and white on the outside for the label and empowered it to be a reversing candle. But this is my favorite reversing candle that I make. Some people are just hung up on the jar thing. They want to let it burn unattended. They want to let it burn for a long period of time. When I'm reversing energy, I want it done. I want it done like that. I want that energy underway. And I have found that my candles that I don't let burn unattended, in addition to not burning your house down, also collect more energy because I'm focused on them and I'm keeping the flow of energy going to it in a concerted way. So in this case, for my client, we're going to use the beeswax candle, the beeswax reversing candle that I make myself. And so what I do is I roll beeswax sheets with the intention color on the inside and the black on the outside. And in between the layers of beeswax, I put oils that are sympathetic to what we're doing. In this case, this is a health candle, and so I've put healing oils on the inside and banishing oils on the outer black part with the wick inside. Now, what I'm working for with this client is health on all levels. She needs a healthy romance. She needs a healthy career. She needs healthy body, and we really want to get her spirit in good, healthy condition. She took a beating and she needs to get back on her feet again. So that's what she approached me about, and that's what we're working on. Now, in my beeswax candles, what I do for the reversals is I tuck a wick in the bottom. And that is the wick we're actually going to burn when we do the candle. So we go down there. I've got my ceremonial blade here. I dig out that wick. Some of them need a little bit more babying than others. And then I'm going to light that end. Now, remember I told you we're going to light the other end? We're going to light that both ends. Eventually, we're burning the candle at both ends. This is what we're going to light when we do the spell, when we're actually finalizing the spell. But flip it over first. I just lit that to show you, get it started. This is the one that was already exposed. Light that one. And we're going to let it burn down until we get a really nice pool of wax going. And that doesn't take very long with beeswax. This is a mirror. We're going to burn, see, that's not good. Get it on there. We're going to burn our reversing candle on the mirror. And that's going to complete the reversing process. So we want to keep this going until we've got a nice little soft pool of wax there at the bottom of the candle. And that's going on now. So once that happens, let's see if I can do this without it being on a hard surface. We're going to take the mirror and the burning candle and press it down hard against it. The wax is going to affix it to the candle. Then we light this end and our spell is going. So I've taken a few minutes aside from the video so that we can do it privately to visualize my client clearly, to put my intention into this candle of her repairing the spiritual, physical, career, relationship damage that has been done, intense healing, and reversing that process. And that is exactly how I would do a reversing candle. So now my client's candle's burning happily away on my private altar, and we're reversing the processes of some of the negative experiences and that she's had and the damages that have been done. One thing I do want to talk to you about is the process of burning the candle on the mirror. And a lot of clients get concerned when and if that mirror breaks. And to me, when that mirror breaks, my experience has shown that that's when you get the biggest results. That shows, bam, I nailed it all the way down to the end of the wick, and it broke and the energy's released. That's not to say that your spell work is not going to be effective if it doesn't break. Just that that's kind of a little indicator, a little kick in the pants that says, yes, you did it right. it broke. Now that's also why you always want to monitor these burns very, very carefully. When I'm doing a beeswax reversal candle on a mirror, I'm not leaving the house. I'm rarely leaving the room, and I'm paying a lot of attention into that process. I might walk away from it a little bit if I know that it's safe, but always burn your candles in a safe manner. That's the talk on reversing candles. I hope that's helpful for you, and I hope that you never have a situation where you have to use a reversing candle because usually that indicates that something's going wrong. But when it is, it's a really good safety feature to course correct and get you right back on the path where you're supposed to be.